What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled So Cory Booker Doesn't Have a Black Agenda. So I'm at work. I'm listening to the Advice show and showing Cory Booker on a Breakfast Club. They asked him what his agenda was for black people. He chuckled, and then he filibustered and said really nothing. So here's the problem. Like, we already knew these candidates, none of them have a black agenda. That's not going to happen, even the black ones. What I think the candidates who, especially on the Democratic side, seem to forget is y'all ain't gonna win if you don't have a black agenda. I know you're not. That's uncomfortable for y'all. I know that's uncomfortable for because y'all used to just showing up, singing, dancing. Let me shuck and jive a little bit, and people will say that's it. Go to a couple of churches. They tell you to vote for this person and that person, and we good. We don't have to give them nothing. Well, yeah, the day's over with. Because there's a demographic of the black community, no agenda, no vote. So when it comes to this presidential run, basically y'all screwed. Because now you got to come up with a black agenda. And I could predict it. You're going to come up with a BS agenda like we're going to give black people a reparation to the tune of like, it was like $100 billion or $400 billion. With the problem, if you divide that number by 40, it was $2,500 per black person. That's really reparations. That's a tax break. It's not reparations. But just the proposal was stupid in itself because it says, we don't think. We don't even know math or something, right? While in turn, you owe a whole other country $20+ trillion and counting. But they didn't build this joint. They lent you money, so you owe them $20 trillion. But the people who built this joint, $2,500 a person. So this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a big problem. Couple that with the fact that you're a politician and you laughing. See, this is what's going on as far as being liberal and conservative, Democratic and Republican. Because liberal and conservative has nothing to do with a party line. That has to do with an ideology and approach to life. Being Republican or Democrat has something to do with a party. Which you're basically forgetting that the majority of black people are conservative. You chuckle like they don't, like that's funny, It's funny, like the agenda for them. No. We need agendas for other people. Okay. I hope that works with everybody else and they vote for you. Because you're not gonna win. Same thing with Kamala Harris. Same thing with probably Bernie Sanders. Because remember, the Bernie Sanders, I don't want to push for reparations. People ain't forgot about that. The same thing with, like I said before, Beto is probably their actual choice because he's kind of like old to Barack Obama and that type of energy. And maybe people could get people energized, the youth energized to vote. But the problem is so many of the youth are thinking about tangibles also. So guess what? You got a black agenda? I didn't think about that. And the fact that you got two parties who don't have a black agenda, but they sure do have a black agenda when it comes to crime, when it comes to education, when it comes to finance, when it comes to government government contracts. when it comes to hiring, when it comes to promotion, when it comes to land and gentrification, oh, you got a black agenda then, but the opposite, no agenda. This is par for the course. This is how it's always been. Now, what's really going to happen at the end of this day, people are not going to vote, or they're going to vote Republican out of spite. That's what's going to happen. And then people are going to, you being a coon and you being a sellout. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because ain't nothing in it for, you ain't got a black agenda, that means ain't nothing in it for us. Because when I talked about, black people have a silent majority too. Here's the thing. All of these groups that are quote unquote minority groups and other groups, to an extent, have some ties to the black community. Either you used our struggle, used our numbers, or downplayed our numbers. Now you got to think about this. Since President Obama was in office, he deported a lot of illegal immigrants. And the way they've been talking politically was illegals had voted. Trump definitely, deporting illegal immigrants. And people that are here legally, or should have been legally and naturalized by now, but they didn't do what they had to do. So deportation is going up. So the numbers of voters are going down. The numbers of possible voters going down. Now, you also have these other agendas. And now you got people who say, okay, you got an agenda for them, but you don't have an agenda for me. So I'm gonna vote out of spite to torpedo their agenda. And you're not coming up with a black agenda because the Democratic Party never has, Republican Party never has, America really never has. So what you're gonna do is you're going to come up with an agenda that everybody else of all these other groups are going to hate, because they've been using us as a step ladder to get ahead of us, but that's not going to help them if we actually have an agenda that benefits us. So then we're going to pull out, we're going to do this, that. So it's going to be a clusterfuck. And you know what? Nobody cares. There's a particular group that doesn't care whatsoever. So just like when people are talking about these government cuts, the economy, the debt this country has, the GDP, offset that with the over 50%, like 55-60% of whites are baby boomer age and up, 55 and up. And they're going to be dying. This, even in the next 5 to 20 years, you're going to see, really from now for the next 20 years, you're going to see a drastic change in America. And this starting point is going to signify a lot, because if you don't have an agenda for us now, you're going to cripple yourself for the next 2 decades. That's what's going to happen. And a tangible agenda, not no BS word agenda. You know what I'm saying? If you're not really going to do anything, just say, I'm not going to do anything. So, is Cory Booker going to get the nomination? Nope. If he does, just not going to win. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think none of the Democrats at this point are going to win. Because you're going to keep going on into black spaces, and the question is going to keep being asked, where's the black agenda? And I talked about this, years ago, about the Congressional Black Caucus not having a black agenda. And this is where the problem lies. When the black politicians don't have a black agenda, they just swear they got the vote. We got you. So you think, so problem that's not going anywhere but downhill fast. And when you think, oh, well, I'm gonna win, people are gonna chuckle just like you chuckled about the black agenda. It's funny. Peace.